Welcome back to Tea Time with Jesus. Get out your tea, coffee. I have my chamomile tea. And let's get into the Word of God. Today I want to talk about caregivers. Because I too was a caregiver some years ago. I took care of my both parents. And that road is a road that is a hard road, but only for the grace of God, the Lord sent strength and help. And I just want to encourage some of you who may be watching and who may be a caregiver, who maybe know of caregivers. I just want to encourage you. Let's start by the Word of God. Matthew 11, verse 28 to 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's a good one. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Philippians 4, chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Galatians 6, 2. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Proverbs 11, verse 25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed himself. Now, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful scriptures from the Word of God. Because God is showing in His Word that there's refreshment for you. There's help for you if you cry out unto Him, if you call out unto Him. And it's so important for a caregiver to go to the Word of God, because that's where you find your strength. That's where you find wisdom, because God gives wisdom in how to handle certain situations. Because caring for a loved one who's very sick, sometimes the person can be depressed or very grouchy, so in anger, just in fear and crying all the time or screaming. You need wisdom as a caregiver. So you need to go to the Word of God. You need to go to God to ask Him to help you how to handle in this situation. I tell you, I've been there. And I had nights where I would be crying out to the Lord on my knees. Because you deal as a caregiver, you deal with a whole sets of emotions. You deal with anger, you deal with guilt, you deal with fear, you deal with worry of the future, fear of the future. Because if it's your parent or it's your child, you're thinking, what's the road down the road? What's the thing down the road? Once the person dies, is no longer there. And so it messes in your mind, it messes with your emotions. And it's a hard road. But I see you. God sees you. And He knows that you're doing your best. And as a caregiver, don't allow the enemy to put that guilt on you, because the guilt is what makes you feel, it can knock you over. You feel like, I didn't do it good enough, or I was too rough, or I was too angry, or I was too, why am I upset? And that guilt is what you have to let go of as a caregiver. And as a caregiver, you need to take care of yourself. You need to make sure that you have some tea time with Jesus. And that you need to have those moments where you stop or go to a location where you can pray, and where you can just unwind. Just drink some coffee, drink some juice, or specialty coffee, a cappuccino or something, whatever it is. But just that you get away from the situation for a bit of time to be able to be rejuvenated, to be re-energized again, because you need it. And like I say, I've been there, and you just need to have that encouragement. Find a support system. Find those who can encourage you and build you up, because you do need it. And I'm not going to speak for long today, but I just want to say to those of you who know of people who are caregiving, reach out to them. They need that. It can be as simple as a phone call to say, hey, how are you doing? Because so much times in church we ask each other, how are you? But we're not really waiting for the answer from the person. It's just a formality. How are you doing? But when you really start to say how I'm really doing, the person is not really interested to really hear how are you doing. So let's not be like that. Let's call the person to find out how they're doing, because sometimes as caregivers you need to be able to, in Dutch they say, get your verhaal kwijt. Let your story be told. You need to just get it off your chest. You need to talk about it, and you just need to be heard. Sometimes people need to be heard, and let's not be so busy that we can't stop and hear what the person is going through. And another form of help that you can give to a caregiver, you can maybe ask them, oh, can I stay this Saturday afternoon for 2 hours with your loved one so you can go out? So you can, maybe I can stay an evening, 2 hours, so you can go out for dinner with your spouse, your husband, or your wife, because they are men caregivers also. And that they just need time, they just need a break. Or maybe you can say to a caregiver, I can do some groceries for you. What do you want me to do for you? Grocery? Can I grocery shop? They need practical things, practical help. And sometimes they might not need all of that, but just a listening ear, as I said before. Yeah, reach out to some caregiver that you know very well, then that you can, offer some form of help, because they need it. And or maybe you can give a gift as a spa treatment. Give them a gift for spa treatment, or a gift of, let's go for breakfast. Those are things that a caregiver can really value. I was there. I know it. I needed that kind of help. I needed that kind of help and assistance, and it gives you the strength to push on. And maybe just somebody encouraging you, saying, you're doing a great job. You're not alone in this. So reach out to caregivers who you know. And and if you are a caregiver, remember to take care of yourself. Even if nobody comes with a gift of a spa treatment, treat yourself. Go get a spa treatment. Go out for breakfast. Go out for lunch. Go for dinner. But just get away from the situation just for a couple of hours. It's not being bad. You're not being a bad caregiver. But you need it. You need to be strong for your loved one, to take care of them. So, reach out to the caregiver if you know of any. Or if you are a caregiver, get into some self-care. Think of yourself. It's not a selfish thing. You just need to get some time away for just a little couple of hours to catch yourself and rejuvenate again. So this was Tea Time with Jesus. And if you are a caregiver and you need some help and coaching and guiding in this area, you can always contact me for a free consultation, and we can see how we can take it further and how I can assist you as an ex-caregiver. So be blessed, and till next week, God's willing, and thank you for joining me. This was Tea Time with Jesus. Thank you.